Let me take you back to the 1800s, a time when the night was the only friend of the enslaved and freedom was a dream whispered in the dark. The air was thick with fear, but somewhere in those shadows, a woman was moving, silent, fierce, and unstoppable. Her name was Harriet Tubman, and she was about to become the most fearless conductor on the road to freedom. They called her Moses, not because she parted seas, but because she led her people out of bondage. And here's the miracle, she never lost a single soul. Harriet was born Araminta Ross around 1822 on a Maryland plantation. She knew pain before she knew peace, whipped, beaten, and treated as property. One day, when she tried to protect another enslaved man from being punished, an overseer threw an iron weight that struck her head. She almost died. For the rest of her life, she suffered dizzy spells and strange trance-like visions. But Harriet believed those visions were messages from God, guiding her, warning her, showing her the path, and soon that path would lead north to freedom. One cold night in 1849, Harriet decided she would no longer live as someone's possession. She crept away under the cover of darkness, following the North Star, guided by whispers of a secret network, the Underground Railroad. It wasn't a real train, but a chain of safe houses, brave abolitionists, and coded songs that helped freedom seekers find their way north. Every step was danger. Dogs tracked her scent, patrols haunted her, and every rustle in the woods could mean capture. But Harriet moved with faith. She said later, "I had reasoned this out in my mind. There was one of two things I had a right to, liberty or death. If I could not have one, I would have the other." And somehow she made it. She crossed into Pennsylvania, free at last. But Harriet's freedom was not enough. She couldn't rest knowing others were still in chains. Most would have stayed safe, but Harriet turned around and went back, alone, into the same danger she escaped. One by one, she led people to freedom. Families, children, mothers with babies. She carried a pistol, not to threaten others, but to remind those she led never to turn back, for fear could get them all caught. She would say, "You'll be free or die." Over 19 dangerous missions, Harriet Tubman guided more than 300 enslaved people to freedom, through swamps, forests, rivers, and nights lit only by the stars. When asked how she never lost anyone, she smiled and said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." When the Civil War broke out, Harriet didn't stop. She became a scout, nurse, and spy for the Union Army, even leading an armed raid that freed over 700 enslaved people in South Carolina. A woman leading soldiers into battle in a time when women weren't even allowed to vote. She was small, barely 5 feet tall, but her courage was taller than mountains. After the war, Harriet worked tirelessly to help the poor and elderly. She never became rich, but her spirit enriched generations. She died in 1913, nearly blind and worn, but free, leaving behind a legacy of hope, defiance, and faith. Today, her name is carved in history, her face is taught in classrooms, and her footsteps echo through time as a reminder that freedom is never given, it is taken, fought for, and protected. So when they called her Moses, they were right, for she led her people not through water, but through darkness, danger, and doubt until they reached the promised land of freedom. Thank you for sticking through till now. What are your thoughts on Harriet Tubman? I'd like to know in the comment section. For more stories like this, please follow, like, share, and subscribe.